Hi Year 1, Year 2. Well, I don't know about you, but I've been reading The Snail and the Whale, and it made me think something. It made me think, how in the world do whales stay in the water? How do they float? How do they not just sink because they're so huge? I've got a picture of one here. Look at that. How in the world does it stay just under the surface of that water? And then when it wants to go lower, how does it manage to go lower? Or if it wants to go right to the top, how does it do that too? So I thought to myself, well, maybe I could do some experiments that would help to explain that. And then I thought, well, wouldn't it be easier? Would it be more fun if you did it too? So one of the first things that I would like you to do when you're at home is to collect up as many things as you can for a floating and sinking experiment, just like this. So what have I got here? We've got a tub of water, 2 plates, one says float, one says sink, and a whole tray of things that I've collected from my house. I've got CDs, an egg, a shell, a conker, a sweet, a teaspoon, a Vaseline, some coins. There's even a dice there and a hair bubble. It's amazing what you find in your house, isn't it? Now, to test these, obviously I'm going to put them in the water, but gently. But first, before I do that, I want you to think, will it float or will it sink? So that's called predicting. I want you to have a predict and think, I guess this is going to float, I'm going to sink. Now, if you're doing real scientific thinking, you can be predicting. You could also be saying, why? What is your idea? And why do you think you've got that idea? Then once you've tried it, you've got a result. So for example, I think the shell will sink. And I think the shell will sink because I think it's heavy. So I'm going to try that now. So I gently hold it and let go. Oh, and was I right? Yes, there it is at the bottom. The shell sank. So I'm now going to take it out and put it into my sink, or sank it could be, my sink bowl. I've used warm water so my hand doesn't get too cold. I think that's probably a good idea. I'm going to go through all of them and then I'm going to try and work out why some things sink and why some things float. I'm going to leave that to you, and after you've finished you'll have a whole load of results. And maybe you could choose to record your results. You could write them down or you could draw pictures. Good fun. Another activity I'd like you to get on with is to sort out and classify all the creatures that live in the ocean. Now, I know that you have been writing fantastic fact files just like this one on the sea turtle and making fact cards like this about the orca and the sea anemone, where you have a picture and then you find out as much information as you can about that animal or creature. If you could make these, and that means that whenever another class does a topic on the ocean, then those fact cards are available for them to use. So you will be making resources for the classroom whilst you're learning as well. Year 1, you remember this that I have up? Let me just hold it up for you. It's a hanger that I have, and it used to be in Palm's outdoor area. Well, we've taken it down because now it's in the Discovery Garden, but I absolutely love it But one thing I think they haven't thought about, and we could put that right, is they've got beautiful pictures of insects. Now you could do that. You could make beautiful pictures of creatures from the ocean, but then on the back, it doesn't say anything. And I know when we find insects in the Discovery Garden, if we had a bit of information on the back there, it would be very useful for identifying using the picture, but then knowing more about it by reading the information on the back. So that would be a really, really useful classification or identification tool to have in the Discovery Garden. As insects, obviously not so interesting, not so useful for the ocean, but again, it would be there for any class that were doing a topic on oceans, wouldn't it? Or classifying animals. So if you could do that for me, that would be superb. Well, that's this week's science. Hopefully it'll keep you busy. And if you need any more, well, investigate more sinking and floating. And really thinking about what things will float. How do whales keep up in the water? How do those huge, great cruiser ships stay up in the water? It's all there, just needs some scientific thinking. Bye for now. Goodbye.